Is everything you know wrong about energetically sensitive kids? Laurie Ferris and Michael Simonson are with us with the Hunter School, hunterschool.org up in New Hampshire. And first of all, welcome to both of you.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks for joining us. And Laurie, let me start with you. You and your son, Zach, who was 10 at the time, and this was just last year, I'm guessing he's still 10 or maybe he's 11 by now, were on Oprah's show. In fact, we have a couple of clips from this that if we get an opportunity to, we'll play. And could you describe to us who are these energetically sensitive kids and how did you discover that you had one?
Well, there's an epidemic of kids who we believe these are very, very intelligent children. They're very creative, and they're also highly sensitive to the negative thoughts that are in our collective consciousness and in our world. We live in a world that is filled with a lot of fear, a lot of worry, and anger. And as parents, when you have a child who's extremely sensitive and you don't understand these energies, it's hard to understand what's happening to your child and how they're perceiving their world and environment.
So, and Laurie, what labels had been attached to your son? Just give very quickly. Give us a sense of what was the challenge that as a parent you were facing?
Sure. Zach had a multitude of diagnoses, severe ADHD, sensory processing disorder, nonverbal learning disorder, unspecified mood disorder, and Tourette's. And you'll notice nearly all of these labels include the word disorder. So there was also a multitude of other things such as Asperger's that were thrown in the mix.
Mm-hmm. And he had been violent?
Very violent towards the end, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And Michael Simonson, you came to Hunter School where Zach ended up, and worked with Zach. You work with what you're referring to as energy work. Describe that to us, please.
Well, our thoughts are energy. So I teach the children that they can control their thoughts, their emotions, and feelings. They can create from what I call a positive, loving place in their choices. Or if they let anger or negativity control them, then they create from that place. And, of course, they have a negative experience or a negative day. I teach them that they're totally responsible for the type of day they have through the choices that they make.
Now, here's a clip. This is 30 seconds of Oprah interviewing 10-year-old Zachary. Clip 12, Jacob.
And now the way you calm and prevent the negative energy from entering your physical space, your body space, is that you do what? What do you do now to prevent that from happening?
I do my white light. I just say stuff like I am love, I am light, I am cool, I am awesome, I am perfect, I am wise when I choose love. And that helps me calm down.
That could be a good lesson for the world, don't you think?
Yeah.
Not just for you.
No, for the whole world.
I think the whole world could use some calm and white light.
They need it.
Yes, they do.
So, Laurie, back a decade or so ago, when Hunter School was started, and hunterschool.org, by the way, is the website. When this was started, most of the kids were being diagnosed with ADHD. These kids. And I think, a lot of kids with ADHD are still underserved, but this is like the next step in severity, it seems. And these kids, what resources do they have available to them if they don't know about, for example, energetic healing programs like you and Michael are working with at Hunter School?
Well, there's a multitude of behavioral plans and things like that different medical folks will offer you. But one of the only things and the major tools, at least that we were offered in our search, was medications.
Antipsychotic drugs.
Yes, antipsychotic drugs. And in our case, and in the case of many parents that I speak with, not only do they not work, but some of them actually cause some pretty severe adverse reactions, both physically and mentally, in these very young children.
Yeah, this is extraordinary. And now we're seeing, 15, 20 years ago, it was like 1 in 10 or 20,000 kids. Now it's 1 in 100 kids are getting labeled with this and being born into this. Here's another clip of your son, Zachary, 10-year-old Zachary, being interviewed by Oprah Winfrey.
When I'm doing an interview with somebody who's full of negativity, I surround myself with that light to try to keep myself from having that energy enter my space. So
don't try, do.
Don't try.
Do.
Do.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you worry about what you might do in the future?
No.
You're not worried about that
No.
because you think you can control it.
I am controlling it.
Okay. Don't think, do.
Do. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Michael, our executive producer, says, 10-year-old Zen master. Michael, you started this pilot program at Hunter School. How's this? Did I say not say Jacob? Yeah. What did I say? Oh, I said Michael. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jacob is our producer. Michael is our guest. Michael, you started this pilot. I need some more Hunter. Some more of my. Anyhow, Michael, you started this pilot program at Hunter School. How's it working out, and what kind of reception are you getting from the academic and medical community?
Well, there's a great deal of interest from both of those communities, which to me is really, really good. The fact that they're willing to look at this and to expand their understanding of this stuff and to actually support it. Plymouth State University is interested in what we're doing at the Hunter School, which to me is awesome because it is an opportunity to bring this type of work into the mainstream, to show people that there's other ways of helping these children besides the traditional ways, and mostly that's just been medication.
Right. Do you find yourself in some situations having to use the language of academic language or psychological language, like saying, well, this is kind of, you could think of this as a variation on cognitive behavioral therapy, but we're calling, or do you just say, hey, we're doing energy? Well, you describe what you call this, how you describe it, and how you talk. How do you talk to somebody? How do you talk to a professional who doesn't understand what you're doing?
The same way I talk to children, that our thoughts are energy, and that everything that we think we project, and all of us pick up on emotions and feelings of what we think. I mean, if you've been around somebody who's been really angry, you'll find yourself being affected in a negative way. Mm-hmm. If you're around somebody who's really happy, you'll find your energies shifting up and feeling better.
Yeah. It's kind of human nature 101 in a way. It's but taken to an art form. Laurie, how's Zach doing now?
Zach is doing fantastic overall. He's been off of medication for almost 2 years. He functions beautifully without a 101 aid. He had a 101 his entire year. But the best part is he no longer has rages, and he hasn't had a rage in several years, and he feels good about himself. His self-esteem is good, and he's a completely different child than 3 years ago prior to this process.
And these were rages where people, like you as his mother, actually felt your life was at risk?
Yes, this was not a normal tantrum. This was... these were very, very violent incidents, which, by the way, a lot of the folks that I do talk to and that responded after the Oprah show are dealing with the same type of extreme behavior with these children these days.
So where can people who need help find information about what you're doing, Laurie and Michael?
Okay.
Laurie.
Well, we're in the process of setting up and creating learning opportunities through the Hunter School, through workshops, newsletters, discussion groups, and people can also go to the hunterschool.org or energeticallysensitive.child.com for just information about these energetically sensitive children and the program at the Hunter School.
That's great. Laurie Ferris, Michael Simonson, thank you both for the great work you're doing and for being with us today.
Welcome. Thanks for having us.